So this morning at about 2:30 in the morning, our officers were dispatched to the Kinwood Club Apartments for a domestic-related situation. Officers responding came upon a female inside her apartment, and in discussing what had occurred within that apartment, they came to learn that there was a male in a rear bedroom of that apartment. Officers were able to enter that bedroom, and in the course of attempting to speak with the male, he fled out of that apartment via a window. Officers gave chase to that male on foot in an attempt to apprehend him. He fled out of the apartment complex and behind the shopping center, located Milltown Shopping Center. Another officer that was on scene was in his vehicle, canvassing the area for the male. He came upon that male near the intersection of McKinnon's Church, near the intersection of Milltown Road of Route 7, on Route 7. He gave that particular male several commands to stop. And during that particular period of time, a confrontation occurred between that male and our officer. During the course of that confrontation, our officer displayed and deployed his taser energy weapon, which was ineffective. At that point in time, the male was able to enter the police vehicle, which was in very close proximity to him, and flee the scene. He led our officers and officers from the Delaware State Police and the Wilmington Police on a several mile-long car chase through Newcastle County through the city of Wilmington. During the course of that car chase, there were several accidents that occurred. All of those accidents involved police vehicles. There were no civilian accidents that occurred. One of our officers sustained an injury and was transported to the hospital from a car crash that he was in. Another officer from the Delaware State Police was transported to the local hospital for an accident that he was in with another police vehicle as well. The suspect in this matter continued north out of the state of Delaware until his vehicle became disabled in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. He was taken into custody in Delaware County, Pennsylvania with the assistance of our officers, the officers from the Delaware State Police and the Pennsylvania State Police. As I said earlier, this is an ongoing and active investigation. We are working this together with our partners at the Department of Justice Division of Civil Rights and Public Trust, as well as our internal investigation from our Professional Standards Unit. The suspect in this matter, I think, as you've read in the earlier press release, is Tyrese Knuckles. He has last known listed address in Pennsylvania. Take a couple questions if you guys have them.
He did not live at that residence where the first call was pulled in.
We're still trying to determine if he had moved to that particular residence, but that is where he and some other family members of his were this morning.
A couple clarification questions. I know you can't get into what led to the shooting, but you said the officer deployed his taser and that was ineffective. Did the shooting happen after that?
Yes.
Okay. And then second clarification, the DSP officer, was he injured after crashing with Knuckles or another police vehicle?
No, he was injured in a crash with one of our police vehicles and a Delaware State Police vehicle.
Was Knuckles armed? Was he armed?
At this point in time, we're not prepared to speak on that. We're still investigating that. Obviously, we need to go through our patrol vehicle, which he stole, and examine to make sure that, I don't want to answer that incorrectly, so that portion of the investigation hasn't been completed yet.
And then just another point of clarification. So the officer fired his taser and then there were shots fired?
Yes, the failed taser deployment occurred before the discharge of the firearm.
And how many discharges?
Of which?
The firearm?
I'm not prepared to answer that yet. We don't think the complete scene examination is done with the vehicle itself.
And in terms of where he was hit, where he was hit?
The suspect, he's hit in the torso.
What's his condition?
Last we checked prior to coming down, he's in stable condition. His injuries appear to be non-life-threatening.
Was he taken into custody at the crash scene, or was he able to flee?
The crash scene in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
He was taken into custody almost immediately right there, adjacent to the crash scene on one of those side streets.
Are you aware if you've had any contact with him prior to this morning?
We have not vetted whether or not we have, as we've said before in the press release, that he did have an active warrant out of the Philadelphia Police Department, so I know they have.
So when he enters Pennsylvania, it's in Delaware County, what's he hit up on 95 that stops him? Another police vehicle?
No, the car became disabled up in Pennsylvania.
So it becomes disabled, did you set something up in the road, or had his car been hit, or, you know, how it became?
Well, there was a series of collisions involving police vehicles and our police vehicle that he was operating throughout the course of the chase. So I think ultimately the culmination of it led to that car becoming disabled on the side of the road up I think near the area of Chester.
Can you speak to that a little bit? How is it that he's hitting cop cars? Is he turning back on you guys, or how is it that he hit cop cars along your chase? He wasn't in front of you, or he's behind you? How did that
Well,
work?
it was both. I think and we haven't, to be honest with you, haven't been able to completely vet his route of travel just because there were so many instances, or excuse me, so many units involved in this. But we were able to determine that were at times where they would be crossing, you know, towards each other.
Your officers wearing body cam, and was there dash camera video?
We are in the process of reviewing all the body camera video that we have, which we have
So
an
there is.
extensive amount, yes.
There is, for all of it.
Were you at high speeds at any point?
I think there were periods of time that yes, that definitely would have put the public in danger if it were at a different hour of the day. I mean, I can tell you this, that it put a large amount of Delaware's law enforcement personnel in danger 3:30 in the morning, to include four different police agencies that were involved in this.
Maybe we would ask this, how many cops were involved in the chase? Any idea?
I couldn't give you a number. I could give you the amount of departments, but I don't know. I haven't really sat down and gone through them all. But Pennsylvania State Police, the Delaware State Police, the Newcastle County Police, and the Wilmington Police Department. No, we're still in the process of determining that. All right, hang on one second. I think we're about done. If we have clarifications, we'll be back out with you later on or issue a release, but that's all we have at this point.
Can you just talk to